Ever since San Francisco drafted Malik Mustapha out of Wake Forest last year in the 4th round, you could tell something was special about him. And this year, despite coming back from an ACL tear, I would argue he actually looks better. I mean, in this most recent Browns game, for instance, it was almost like Mustapha was back there with Sanders getting the offensive play call and then running it better than them. Maybe the most exciting part about Mustapha's game, though, is he's only a 23-year-old safety in his 2nd year, so he's only going to continue to improve, and I think eventually he's going to be an all-pro safety for this defense. So in this video, we're going to go over how Mustapha has really helped elevate San Francisco's defense and why I believe the best is yet to come. Initially, to start, we will be examining his run defense because honestly, there are very few safeties that play like Mustapha in the running game. He's not afraid to come up violently from his safety position and blow up a running play. To really exemplify this point, here on this play, Mustapha is San Francisco's lone deep safety, with the Browns challenging his side with the run, potentially bouncing out to the outside with this lane forming. But Mustapha is quick to identify it, so he shoots violently, gets outside contained, so the back can't bounce outside right here, and ultimately brings him down for an extremely minimal gain, especially considering where he started this play. You might have also noticed on this play, the Browns are actually executing it pretty nicely. They were making their way up to the 2nd level, and the only player the back had to beat really was Mustapha. But Mustapha is such a phenomenal player, he takes away this near perfect execution from the Browns offense, and they get what? A couple of yards from it. To further highlight how Mustapha's ability to identify what the offense is doing often leads to success for his defense, here on this play, the Browns are running an outside zone run towards Mustapha's side, which has their offensive linemen double teaming their way up to the 2nd level. Meanwhile, Mustapha on this play is lined up almost like a box safety and once again showcases phenomenal football intelligence. Here, he understands the Browns most likely will be attacking his defense with the run to create some separation for Sanders and the offense to work with. So post-snap, he starts to read the offensive line. And with him reading this tackle and guard, double teaming 51 up to the 2nd level, without any hesitation, I mean immediately here, as soon as this lane is forming, he's shooting it. And because he's such an insanely athletic safety, he's able to meet this back in this hole and bring him down for no gain. I love the way Mustapha plays and hits. Another underappreciated aspect of Mustapha's game, in my opinion, is how he uses the offense pre-snap motions to help him identify what the play call is. Here on 4th and 1, for instance, he knows most likely it's a run, and with 72, an offensive lineman motioning into the backfield, he knows it's an inside handoff. So he's cheating pre-snap, and then post-snap, like we've seen throughout this game, he's triggering. He shoots violently, he doesn't care if he's wrong, he's going to be going 100 miles doing it. But because he was right on all of his reads on this play, he was actually able to stop this back for a 1-yard loss on 4th and 1, really showcasing his ability to rise in big time moments. Another part of Mustapha's game I really like on this play is how he's communicating with the rest of his defense once he's able to identify what it is. He's saying, look, it's going to be a run right here. He's pointing towards it, and you can even see the rest of his defense confirming, like Brown right here, is pointing towards the same direction. Then, like an old school safety, he's coming in with bad intentions, getting low, and causing this back to lose a yard on 4th and 1. Mustapha is a straight up baller. Another underappreciated aspect of his run defense, in my opinion, is his ability to come up and control wide receivers' blocks. Here on this play, for instance, he identifies 19 trying to block him, so he quickly attacks it to free up the back half of his defense, and then as soon as he identifies 10 cutting away from him, he's able to shed this block and work towards 10 on this play. In addition to Mustapha's ability against the run, he also proved to be an effective pass defender throughout this Browns game. To really start to exemplify this point, here on this play, the Browns are attempting to attack San Francisco's defense with this little screen pass to this back. Meanwhile, Saleh has zone coverage called, specifically cover 3 buzz, which has Mustapha buzzing down to this hook curl zone, so he's not necessarily responsible for the screen. But because he's reading Sanders' eyes and identifies the screen forming, he's able to work his way up the field. Then even with all of this congestion and this offensive lineman trying to drive him out of this play, he's able to stay strong enough to stay in this play and make this tackle on this back for a pretty minimal gain. In a similar way to his run defense, Mustapha also does a phenomenal job of using pre-snap identifiers to help him identify what the offense is doing. Here, based on this formation for instance, and this back motioning pre-snap, he knows most likely there's going to be a swing pass coming. So rather than dropping off deep on this play, he's cheating towards the line of scrimmage, and before Sanders is even throwing this ball, Mustapha is flowing up the field, and I love the way he navigates this congestion. He's able to work his way through all these blocks and once again gets this back down. Another vital part for safety success in San Francisco's defense is their ability to be an eraser or eliminate any mistakes that may occur underneath. And here on this play, with Robinson jumping this play action hard, San Francisco's defense is left susceptible to this crosser pattern by this wide receiver, but Mustapha also identifies it, so while Sanders is getting this completion on this play, if not for Mustapha, who knows how much this could have gone for. He could have turned it up the field right here and potentially even gotten a touchdown here. In a similar way on this play, Mustapha continues to show his ability to stop the big play from happening on his defense, because in zone coverage, he could have let this wide receiver cross over his face. By identifying it's a scramble drill at this point, he stays glued to this wide receiver's hip pocket and nearly gets the interception here. I would like to see him come away with this, but I do love his ability to go up and attack the ball. Outside of Mustapha's zone coverage, he also has the ability to be pretty effective as a man coverage safety, giving Saleh a ton of flexibility in his defense. To really highlight this point, here on this play, Mustapha is playing off coverage with this wide receiver running a comeback route, but because he's quick to identify it, he jumps this route, taking away Sanders' checkdown option on this play, and then with this wide receiver trying to work, he stays glued to his hip pocket. So even though he didn't get any credit for this sack on this play, without Mustapha's great man coverage ability coming up hard on this wide receiver, it would have just been a check down pass and a completion rather than a sack here. To further highlight his man coverage ability, here on this play, he's manned up on the wide receiver Jerry Jeudy with them running a bench pattern, so Sanders unsurprisingly will be trying to go towards Mustapha's direction, as it seems like a match made in heaven. But because Mustapha jumps on this route hard, he has to just throw it away on this play, not get the safety, or not throw the potential interception to Mustapha. This video isn't to say Mustapha is a perfect player overall, but he is a player that's continued to refine his game headed into year 2, and I think based on what we've seen on film, if he is able to continue to refine some of his weaknesses, like his over-aggressive style, he could end up being an all-pro safety. But ultimately, these are just some of my thoughts on San Francisco's second-year safety and Malik Mustapha, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below about him as a player. Do you think he has the potential to continue to develop in San Francisco's system like I do, or do you think some of his weaknesses, like his over-aggressive style, his missed tackles, and his misidentification of plays, will continue to hold him back going forward? Personally, I just see too many positives on his tape to ignore, and when you're watching the game, he flashes every single time. I can't wait to see him continue to develop, especially since he's only 23 years of age. But I'd like to hear your thoughts down below as well, at how you like him as a player and how you think he'll develop overall as San Francisco's starting safety headed forward. And it would also mean a ton to me if you did enjoy this video, if you could go ahead and like and subscribe. It truly helps out the channel a ton. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.